Champions Mojo is part of the CG Sports Network.
Welcome to the award-winning Champions Mojo, hosted by two world record-holding athletes and health, life, and leadership coaches. Be inspired as you listen to Conversations with Champions. And now, your hosts, Kelly Pallas and Maria Parker.
Hello, friends. Welcome to the Champions Mojo podcast. And as usual, I am co-hosting with Maria Parker. Hello, Maria. It's great to see you today.
Hi, Kelly Pallas. It's great to see you too.
Yes, Maria, today's topic we said was kind of a little heavy, but it's because it's so important. And we're going to be talking about living one's life's purpose. Feeling passionate about what we're doing it's such a gift and such a joy. We're going to do 10 tips for finding that. And even though we kind of said it was heavy, I'm going to make tell a little story to lighten it up. I've wanted to know my life's purpose. I've been kind of seeking my life's purpose since I was young, and I have my little pigtails on even, so I can think of myself as a little girl. So I used to tell my parents, I wanted to know my purpose. And my dad would make a joke and say, well, everybody needs a porpoise, like the dolphin. So anyway, this is our purpose, not our porpoise. So what are your thoughts, Maria?
I think it's beautiful that you, as a youngster, already knew, you wanted to figure out what your porpoise was, your purpose was. And I think it's because you were raised by such lovely people that that you wanted to have to know more, more than I'm hungry, I'm eating, I'm, whatever. And yes, purposeful living, it takes us beyond, and we can only do it when all of our basic needs are met, right?
Right.
But it takes us beyond just taking care of ourselves and selfish, at least from my perspective, it takes us beyond, just thinking of ourselves, because, in life is short, and I want to live a purposeful life because I know that it doesn't last forever, and that it comes out of my faith that God put me here to do something. Maybe it's just to care for, my family, but there's something beyond just thinking of me and thinking of my own pleasure. So purposeful living takes us kind of to a higher level. But how do we find that purpose? And we've sort of come up with some thoughts about it. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So I think, the purpose can be really deep. It can be what God put us here to do, or it can be something kind of light and fluffy, as in, just doing something that you're super passionate about or that you love. And I think this goes to Joseph Campbell's a great philosopher. He did a series called the Hero's Journey.
The Power of the Myth.
Power of the Myth and the Hero's Journey.
Right.
But he talks about just seeking your bliss. And if everybody, he feels like if everybody sought their bliss, and this isn't, this is something that betters the world versus,
right,
if you're, not doing something that hurts people, but seeking one's bliss inspires others. So it doesn't have, like, I'm inspired and lifted up by just an artist who's seeking their bliss, or somebody who's writing, or somebody who's raising a beautiful family, whatever you're passionate about, that kind of just raises other people up. So it can be, yes, it can be saving the world. It can be living God's purpose. It can be something, that you're passionate about. So, Maria, why don't you start with the couple of the 8 things that we've come up with to help people find that?
Well, so the first thing is just what you've just been saying is what are you passionate about? What do you love to do? Those, asking yourself those questions. I think we live in a sort of a cynical world, and having a purpose it's anti-cynical. I'm sort of when I think, because I would naturally tend towards cynicism, I really fight it, and I don't like it when I see it in others. So, you can ask yourself, like, what do I care about? And whatever it is that you care about, that you love to do, that's unique to you. Not completely unique, but that's, that's part of your DNA, your makeup, and can help you point you towards your purpose. And then the second thing is, what are you good at? What are your strengths? What are your what are your character strengths? We did a whole show, which I recommend listening to it, on character strengths. You can test your character strengths at viacharacter.org, which is a free website where you can just sort of go. Most people kind of know their strengths, but it's fun to take that test and just, have that confirmed. And then, so whatever it is that your purpose is, you're going to be using your strengths because it's going to feel good. That's the nice, I think that's one of the things about purpose, that it feels right. It feels good.
Yes. Those are a beautiful way to start off. Like, what are you passionate about and what are your strengths? So if that's a great place to start to find your purpose. The other thing, and I did a workshop, I want to say 20 years ago, maybe 15, but about 20 years ago. And we had to create a mission statement or a purpose statement for our life. Like what would, if you could summarize what you want to think of your mission in life to be every day, what would it be? And so I think by creating a mission statement for your life, that can give you, it kind of gives you the actual roadmap. If you're not there yet, you could live that. My statement was to live a life with an optimistic outlook and be uplifting and helpful to those I interact with every day. So whoever I come in contact with, I want to raise that person up and help them, whether it's,
Nice.
Somebody that I meet at swim practice, somebody that, a toll taker, a waitress, whatever. I just feel like that gives me a purpose when I wake up in the morning, that I'm going to be helpful and inspiring to others.
And you do that, Kelly. I love that. It's interesting that you came up with that and you have lived that. So that's
which
beautiful.
comes first, the chicken or the egg? Thanks,
Right.
Maria.
It can be aspirational, right?
It can be aspirational. So, and my second one, which is number 4, is kind of like, what do you want out of life? So goals are great. Like, this can give you purpose. Like, let's say you don't know what your purpose is. You may not know what your passion is, but you like, rowing. You've seen rowing at the Olympics. You like rowing. You have a goal to row in a race or whatever. Then you could say that's going to give me purpose. And I'll give you a great example of this is Mark. Mark was feeling a little bit lost and, kind of not bored with real estate, but that's what we've been doing for the last 15 years. And we still do it, but he was like, I just feel like I need a purpose. And he went out and started to become a golfer, so it was something like he gave himself golf goals and then he went after it. So now golf is his purpose, but it was, again, these two are kind of aspirational.
Right. Yeah, I like that. And I think that illustrates really well that your purpose can change and
Definitely.
does. I think if you'd asked me, 20 years ago or 25 years ago, I would have said it's all about, raising children. Now my children are grown and gone. And so my purpose has changed. So, I think, and you should feel free to change your purpose in life.
Sure.
We get clarity and I always tell my kids this, you get lots of different lives to live. Usually you get, even though I opened by saying, we have one life. In that life, there's different sections. And as you mature and change, your purpose may change. So the 5th and 6th tips they're kind of related to find tools that help you. There was a book on this, and I think they're still making, it's called What Color is Your Parachute? It's really for finding, it's to help young people and anybody figure out, what they should be doing with their lives. And it's a wonderful book. It's a great little thing to read and to test yourself. And this is, there's like, what are your skills? What are your character strengths? What are your skills? And then what are your passions? There's a passions test. This test was developed by Chris and Janet Attwood. You start by filling in the blank 15 times for the following statement. When my life is ideal, I am, and you put that word, the word you choose to fill in the blank has to be a verb. So once you've created your 15 statements, you can identify the top 5 choices. Now, I haven't done this, but Kelly, you have. What did you find?
I think if one does not have, like, if you're just like, I don't know what I'm passionate about, or, you're just a little bit on the fence, I think this is one of the greatest exercise, this passion test. And it's so easy. Open a notebook and, get a blank page and write when my life is ideal, I am. And the first thing that comes to mind is that I'm swimming. I know that's weird, but I'm swimming a lot, like that makes my life ideal, that I and that shows me what am I super passionate about. Like when we started this podcast, I wanted to have a swimming podcast. I wanted to talk about swimming. I wanted to coach swimming. It's like, I'm passionate about swimming.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I am passionate. When my life is ideal, I am talking with Maria. Like that was something that this podcast filled for me, was
Right.
I want to be talking with people that I love. When my life is ideal, I'm loving my family,
Yeah.
so it's a really easy thing to see what you're passionate about. It may be, it may surprise you, but I
Yeah.
was surprised when, I don't know why I was surprised, but I was surprised when,
Swimming came
I'm
in.
swimming.
Yeah.
That's weird. How about you, Maria? Now that you know,
Yeah,
can you think of something?
as you're saying those, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind, and the first one would be when my life is ideal, I am loving my family. The second one would be when my life is ideal, I am getting fitter. I love that process of getting fitter.
Yeah.
Another thing is when my life is ideal, I'm having lots of interaction with people and interacting. I'm an extrovert mostly, and I'm spending a lot of time chatting and listening to other people. I'm helping in that way. So I love this exercise, and as you say, it's a good one. I might spend some time this afternoon doing this.
Yeah. And, those listening with us, we'd love for you to email us and tell us
Yeah,
when your
that'd be
life
great.
is ideal, what are you doing? I think that's would be so interesting. So the last 2, 7 and 8 are take time for yourself. And when you do that, this is going to serve 2 purposes. If you already know what your purpose is and what you're passionate about, you can do more of it. And if you don't, then you can take time to get to know yourself, to think, to do a test, to do the character strengths, to do the passion test, to think about that. So that's kind of number 7, is take time for yourself. And then the last one is ask yourself the last time that you experienced pure joy. Like what were you doing when you were just purely joyful? And, one of those things, like we talked about in our last podcast that we did together on being mindful, was or on de-stressing, was using music. And I'm very passionate about music. So one of the last like joyful moments that I remember, which was just last week, was just listening to one of my favorite songs and kind of dancing around the living room. So, again, what do you, Maria, when you think about your last really joyful moment?
It's riding through nature on my bike and just seeing beauty all around me. I have so many pure joy moments. But I think, the last time was this morning. I went on a bike ride with my nephew, and it was just beautiful, and I felt good. I was out in nature, and it was just gorgeous. And I was with somebody that I loved. It kind of combined a lot of my joy jolts.
That is wonderful. Well, there are just so many ways that we can find our purpose and live our purpose. And really, like you said, Maria, the bottom line is it just makes life better. It just makes life better when you're doing what you can.
Yeah.
What you enjoy and what you love, what you should be should be doing. You feel that unforeseen helping hand.
That's right.
Right. That's what they say when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You get the unforeseen helping hand
that moves you along and opens doors for you. That's what Joseph Campbell said. He said, when you're seeking your bliss, then doors will open. You will have that unforeseen helping hand.
Yes. It's now time for the takeaways. Maria, you and I have heard the takeaways are the best part of the show.
That's right, Kelly, because the takeaways are curated information, which is what we give to our clients when we coach them.
If you would like to take your performance to the next level in health, life, or leadership, go to our website and schedule your free 30-minute consultation.
Yes, just click on our coaching page and book there. We're looking forward to bringing out the champion in you. And now the takeaways.
So let's do this. The takeaways
Takeaways.
for finding and living our life's purpose. Maria, what are you going to come out of here with?
I like the passion test. And I think this should be done probably every year, because I think this, when my life is ideal, I am verb. So I'm going to work on that. I'm going to take that. I a lot of things are popping into my mind. So I think that'll be quick and easy and fun. And I also love the take time for yourself. I think one of the things that's happened again in our world, so full of distraction, we have, the cell phone, we're never bored. I was thinking about this today as I was riding along on the bicycles with my nephew. So, I didn't need to be listening to a podcast or anything, but every single person we passed, and sometimes people were together, had that earbuds in. And so we're never quiet in our minds. We're always pumping it full of usually good stuff, music or podcast or whatever, but I'm going to work more, and I do it too. I guess what I'm getting at is I do it too. I fill every second with stuff. So I want to take more time to myself. I want to allow myself to be bored so that I can really get to know myself and be creative and seek this, continue to refine my purpose, poipus.
Your purpose. Yeah. Refining is really important. I really think I want to be more present. I feel like, be more present with my mission statement. So my mission statement is, I wrote it 20 years ago and I kind of automatically do that. So maybe I want to refine my mission statement.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good one. And then the other one that I'd like to do is I think the one about setting goals, like when I finished my book, I think I told you this, the book was done and I kind of felt a little lacking in purpose, because I was so driven to get that book done for so many years, and then it was done. Yeah. And now it's kind of like, okay. So I had a void. So I think when you feel like you don't have this driving purpose, that having goals is really important for that. So those are the two. I'm going to look at maybe some new goals and maybe readjusting my mission statement.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a very common thing when you do something really big and important and then it's done. You really do have to sort of give yourself a little bit of a break and then start again.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Maria. All right. Well, this is a great one. And I love you. Love this topic. Love you too.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Champions Mojo podcast with host Kelly Palace and Maria Parker. Champions Mojo is produced by Cabra Media, and a new episode debuts every Tuesday. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. Follow Champions Mojo on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook @Champions Mojo.